There's a strange kind of confidence that comes from holding something built to keep a human alive in the worst chapter of world history. That's the energy behind the World War II soldier's survival kit. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't high-tech, but it was rugged, brilliant, brutally practical, and in many ways still outshines the sleek, fragile modern gear we love to brag about today. This wasn't gear meant to look good on Instagram. It was designed to work when everything else failed. And that's exactly why it's worth exploring. The truth is simple. When technology breaks, when batteries die, when GPS loses signal, the old ways, those raw, time-tested, battlefield-proven ways, step back into the spotlight. And the men who carried these kits weren't hobbyists or weekend campers. They were soldiers navigating hunger, chaos, cold, isolation, and the unknown. Their equipment had one job: keep them alive. And it did it brilliantly. Let's break down exactly what made the World War II soldier's survival kit a masterpiece of pure functionality, and why, even today, survival experts still compare their gear against this old benchmark. The first thing that stands out about the kit is how it cut out everything unnecessary. Each item earned its place. One of the essentials was the pocket-sized compass. No digital interface, no charging port, no satellite reliance. Just a simple, shock-resistant magnetized needle that would never power off. Even if it took a beating, even if it got wet, even if a soldier hadn't slept in 2 days, the compass always worked. Modern compasses can be more advanced, yes, but they're also more fragile. The World War II version was practically indestructible, small enough to hide, tough enough to trust. Then there was the waterproof match case, paired with strike-anywhere matches. Soldiers weren't lighting candles for comfort. They needed fire for boiling water, signalling, sterilizing tools, and staying alive in miserable weather. These matches could ignite in wind, after rain, even after being dropped in mud. They didn't care about conditions. Modern fire starters are impressive, but many are useless without practice. A World War II soldier didn't have time to practice. He needed flame on demand. And that's what he got. One of the most underrated items was the humble metal mess tin. It wasn't just cookware, it was a water purifier, a tiny oven, a ration saver, a medical sterilizer. You could dig with it, hammer with it, signal aircraft with its reflective surface, or cook almost anything over an open flame. Even today, people buy collapsible silicone bowls or ultralight plastic cups. Great until heat melts them or pressure cracks them. Meanwhile, the World War II tin was a multi-tool before multi-tools existed. Heavy enough to last, light enough to carry. And then we have the bandages and dressings. Unlike the heavily engineered medical kits of today, World War II soldiers used compact, tightly sealed field dressings that survived mud, rain, sweat, heat, freezing temperatures, and, well, months of rough movement. They were designed to treat gunshot wounds, shrapnel, burns, and infections quickly. The material was thick, sterile, and deeply absorbent, wrapped in wax packaging that, interestingly enough, doubled as fire-starting material. In survival, every item is more valuable when it does more than one job. Modern kits can be sterile and sophisticated, but they don't come in packaging designed to save your life again after you've used what's inside. Another powerful component was the concentrated rations. These weren't meant to taste good. They were meant to keep a soldier's body functioning during long marches or days with no access to real food. Packed with calories, salt, fat and nutrients, these rations could survive insane temperature swings and still deliver energy. Today's survival bars melt in heat or freeze into bricks. These rations refuse to die. Soldiers carried them in pockets, boots, bags, anywhere they would fit. They were dense, reliable endurance fuel. One of the items modern survival kits almost never include, but absolutely should, is the signal mirror. The World War II version was small, polished, and honestly, surprisingly effective. You could use it to send distress signals across valleys, oceans, forests, deserts, you name it. Even at extreme distances, even when radios failed, even when batteries died, the mirror gave you a voice. Modern gear depends too heavily on electronics, but in the world of survival, redundancy is everything. And a non-electronic signaling tool is priceless. The sewing kit inside the survival pack was far from glamorous, but incredibly valuable. Soldiers used it to patch clothes, fix boots, repair tents, secure bandages, and even perform emergency wound closures when medics weren't available. In survival, even small tears in gear can lead to massive problems over time: cold, exposure, infection, injury. The World War II sewing kit didn't look important, but it kept equipment functional when replacements were impossible. Then we get to one of the simplest and most overlooked pieces, the water purification tablets. Modern filters are incredible, but they clog, they break, they require maintenance, and some need batteries. Tablets, however, just work. World War II soldiers carried enough to turn dirty water from puddles, streams and lakes into safe hydration. This allowed troops to stay mobile, stay lighter, and avoid diseases that could ruin an entire unit. Many modern kits still use tablets today because no technology has replaced their simplicity. That alone proves the effectiveness of the old design. One more tool deserves attention: the folding pocket knife. It wasn't designed to impress. It didn't have 20 attachments or a high-polish finish. It had a blade strong enough to cut rope, carve wood, slice food, and defend yourself if needed. It was compact, built for durability, and sharpened to last. Modern knives often focus on aesthetics or gadget overload. A soldier's knife focused on survival. As you look at each piece, a theme emerges: reliability over flashiness. Everything was chosen to survive rain, snow, heat, mud, pressure, impact, and, well, constant stress. Nothing required charging, nothing depended on a network, nothing was fragile, and every item had multiple uses. That's why, modern survivalists still copy many of these designs today. The old gear didn't rely on convenience, it relied on resilience. There's a lesson in that. Technology is amazing, but nature doesn't care about technology. Batteries fail, glass cracks, screens freeze, apps glitch, signals drop, but fire still burns, a blade still cuts, a compass still points north. The World War II soldier's survival kit wasn't just equipment. It was a philosophy. Prepare for failure. Prepare for the worst. Carry what works even when nothing else does. For viewers of Legacy of Survival, this is the heart of the story. Survival isn't about having the newest gear. It's about having the right gear. And sometimes the best tools are the ones perfected decades ago by men who needed them far more than any of us will. Their equipment didn't just keep them alive. It shaped the foundation of modern survival tactics. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure you subscribe to Legacy of Survival, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who appreciates real, no-nonsense survival wisdom. Your support keeps the spirit of true resilience alive.